Hello viewers, today I'm going to tell you a few steps regarding how to green your business. By green I mean creating a sustainable environment within the business and try to focus on reducing the carbon emissions within the business. So the first step for creating a sustainable business is for the employees as well as the higher tier management to leave their cars at home and use public transportation or ride sharing apps. In this way, you're sort of reducing the carbon footprint that the automobiles sort of leave within the atmosphere. Second step, actually, it's a bit rather radical because some workplaces they don't allow you to work from home. So, but if you have a choice, if you can work remotely from home, then I think it's sort of more sustainable. Plus, you'll be able to save the money that you spend on the transportation from your home to the office. So, increase savings at the end of the month. And secondly, you're reducing the carbon footprint. So, it's a win win situation for both. The next point is basically to sort of break the addiction to convenience. What do I mean by this? I mean that we always try to, do convenient things that sort of are easier to do. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, if you think that you have to go to the office on your own car, it's more convenient. You can just take it from home, park it in the office, and then you don't have to walk much. Plus, you don't have to go through the hassle of trying to catch the bus or the public transportation, or you don't have to wait for the ride sharing sort of the car. And all these things, they are a bit less convenient, but they are more sustainable and they sort of are more green. So in order to reduce the carbon footprint, you have to be willing to sacrifice a little bit. Next step of greening your business is to do green procurement. What do I mean by green procurement? By that I mean that you have to buy, if you are sort of like a construction company and you're procuring the equipment for the construction site, then you have to make sure that the suppliers are making things sustainably. So you don't buy from the suppliers who are burning more carbon. So that's a single step. Plus, if you are like using a lot of paper in your business, so try to reduce the amount of paper by less printing. Use soft invoices, soft copies of the invoices. Plus, use more digital data rather than physical data. So in that way, you can reduce the paper consumption. Plus, you can reduce the printing costs. So it's a win-win situation for the business as well as the environment. Next step is also very important. It's sort of like, in a way, if you're helping the environment, you're helping the less fortunate. Because you see, the global warming, it will affect the poor people more than the rich people. Why do I say that? Because when the sea levels will rise and the communities which are closest to the sea and those houses which are the weakest, like sort of shelter houses for the poor, they'll be sort of washed away by the water. So whenever you're doing something which supports sustainability and green sort of initiatives which are helping the environment, so in a way you're helping the poor as well. The next point is also very important. Actually, it is one of the most important points. You have to reduce your water usage. Water, it's the most abundant, yet it's the most important source that we have for life. So use it wisely. You don't, like in a shower, if you like taking long baths of like 50 minutes, 1 hour, then I think you can do it, sort of this planet a service by spending less time in the shower. If you are brushing your teeth, I'll suggest that you should turn the tap off, because most of the people waste the water while they're brushing their teeth. So it's very common, and it can easily be done without much effort, and it can reduce the water wastage by a lot. The next point is also very important. It's about reducing your energy footprint. What do I mean by energy footprint? For all the businesses, they have got their office spaces, commercial spaces, or industries or factories. So, in a way, they are consuming a lot of electricity. The more electricity they use, the more carbon is sort of emitted in the environment. So, in order to be more energy efficient, they have to employ more sort of sustainable practices. By sustainable practices, I mean they have to reduce their consumption. At the same time, they have to produce green energy for their consumption. A factory can easily put solar panels on the rooftops of the factory, or a commercial space can sort of get their electricity from solar as well. Plus, if they are more conscious about their energy consumption, they can do agreements with the sort of power suppliers as well as distribution companies to supply green energy to them. So these are some of the steps that the businesses can take to be more sustainable. The next step is about recycling of electronics. All the businesses in these days, they use loads of electronic devices. They have computers, laptops, phones, printers, etc. Most of these appliances, when they get old, they are usually sort of dumped in the dump yard. Rather than doing that, I think they should sort of provide these sort of worn out devices to the recyclable units or recycle companies. By doing this, you're actually helping the environment and providing silicon for the other next generation electronic devices. Because most of the materials that are used within the electronic devices, they are like the chipboards, silicon, transistors, resistors, which can be reused within the other devices as well. So focus on this. Next step is about switching over to cloud computing. By means of switching over to cloud computing, the companies are helping the environment. How? Because if you have data servers at your own office, at your own site, you'll have to have all the infrastructure in place, more computers, more hard disks, all the cabinets, etc. So by using cloud computing, you're in a way outsourcing your data to a secure place within the large scale servers, which are more efficient, which are more energy efficient, as well as which are more financially beneficial for the company as well. So again, it's no brainer. You're like financially more lean, or financially you need less resources if you are using cloud services. Plus, you're also helping the environment. So it's a win-win for the business and the environment. The last point, it's also very important. It's forming partnerships with other businesses to take action on sustainability. How can you form partnerships? Again, there are like many sort of organizations or NGOs which can help you in forming partnerships with other businesses. And you can also sort of like do sustainability campaigns, sustainability awareness events within your community. It will do two things actually. Firstly, it will promote your business or market your business. Secondly, it will also sort of create your relationship with the consumers based on the fact that you are a sustainable business. So the consumers will also sort of put more trust in you, and they will also support this initiative, and they'll also encourage you. So I think it's a good thing. Most businesses ignore this aspect, But sustainability and going green in today's day and age is essential for our future generations as well as for this planet. Thank you.